Feathered Serpent.
Captain's log, stardate 5097.3. Starfleet reports major military activity in the Klingon sector near Krakoor, a planet on the edge of Klingon space. Intelligence indicates that the Klingons are mobilizing a large fleet to search for a renegade who is responsible for a disruption of unknown nature on that planet. Federation sensors have found a faint energy trail leading to the planet Zam-4 in the Digifal system. We've been ordered by Starfleet to track down the source of the energy and discovered what happened on Krakoor before the Klingon fleet enters Federation space. If we are not successful, the Federation and the Klingon Empire may find themselves at war once again.
So I'm
Orders are to proceed to the Digifal system.
Thank you. That's my question.
Captain, a Klingon battle cruiser has entered the system.
Open hailing frequencies. This is Captain James T. Kirk of the USS Enterprise. Klingon battlecruiser, you are in Federation space. You must leave immediately.
I am Commander Taras of the Nizra. We are in pursuit of a genocidal criminal. We are performing an act of mercy in removing him from your space. Naturally, you will remove your vessel from this system, for your own safety, of course.
I think we can take care of ourselves, Taraz, which is more than I can say for you, if the Nizra does not leave Federation space at once. You are in direct violation of the Organian Treaty, mister. If you have a problem, have your fleet commander take it up with them. If a Federation criminal were to pass into Klingon space, you'd be saying the same thing to me. Who do you think you're trying to fool, Taraz? Get your ship out of here now. I think we can take care of ourselves, Taraz, which is more than I can say for you, if the Nizra does not leave Federation space at once. You are in direct violation of the Organian Treaty.
If we are not allowed to capture this criminal, Captain, you may do this for us. We insist that we remain here to monitor the situation, but we will take no action, provided that you can bring him to us in 12 hours.
Agreed. Vessels of war are not allowed in Federation space. You will pull back to the Organian neutral zone, and do so immediately. Agreed. Vessels of war are not allowed in Federation space. You will pull back to the Organian neutral zone, and do so immediately.
You interfere in a just cause. You respond to a cry for justice with arrogance? Now you shall see how Klingons deal with their enemies!
Captain, the Nizra has fired up its weapons.
Raising shields.
Arming weapons.
Target analysis off. Target analysis off.
The shields are falling! Our weapons are offline!
What?
Our weapons are offline!
The Enterprise has been destroyed. Load a previously saved game.
What? I was destroying it.
Orders are to proceed to the Digifal system.
Captain, a Klingon battle cruiser.
Open hailing frequencies. This is Captain James T. Kirk of the USS Enterprise. Klingon battlecruiser, you are in Federation space. You must leave immediately.
I am Commander Taras of the Nizra. We are in pursuit of a genocidal criminal. We are performing an act of mercy in removing him from your space. Naturally, you will remove your vessel from this system, for your own safety, of course.
I think we can take care of ourselves, Taraz, which is more than I can say for you, if the Nizra does not leave Federation space at once.
You interfere in a just cause. You respond to a cry for justice with arrogance? Now you shall see how Klingons deal with their enemies!
Captain, the Nizra has fired up its weapons.
Raising shields.
Arming weapons.
Target analysis on.
Our weapons are offline.
How?
The shields are falling. Our weapons are offline.
The Enterprise has been destroyed. Load a previously saved game.
Is there someone behind us that I cannot see?
Captain, a clean...
Open hailing frequency.
I am Commander Taras of the Nizla.
I think we can take care of ours. You are in direct via... Who do you think you're trying to fool, Taraz? Get your ship out.
You interfere in a job.
Captain, the Nizra has fired up its weapons.
Raising shields.
In the radar I see only one. The sensors, whatever.
Arming weapons.
There's another one.
Our weapons are offline. The shields are falling. Our weapons are offline. The shields are falling. Our weapons are offline. Aye, sir.
The Enterprise has been destroyed. Load a previously saved game.
Perhaps we cannot defeat them. I don't know. There are, I think, 3 or 4 ships, right? Let's try to make it.
Captain, a Klingon battle cruiser has entered the system.
Open hailing frequencies. This is Captain James T. Kirk of the USS Enterprise. Klingon battlecruiser, you are in Federation space. You must leave immediately.
I am Commander Taras of the Nizla. We are in pursuit of a genocidal criminal. We are performing an act of mercy in removing him from your space. Naturally, you will remove your vessel from this system. For your own safety, of course.
I think we can take care of ourselves, Taraz, which is more than I can say for you. You are in direct violation of the Organian Treaty, mister. If you have a problem...
If we are not allowed to capture this criminal, Captain, you may do this for us. We insist that we remain here to monitor the situation, but we will take no action, provided that you can bring him to us in 12 hours.
Agreed. Vessels of war are not allowed in Federation space. You
Tried
will
that
pull
before.
back to the Organian neutrals. Agreed.
Yeah, so now I'm not at war.
Entering standard orbit.
Hailing frequencies open. Hailing frequencies open.
Raising shields. Lowering shields, Captain.
Save new game. Replace previous.
Assemble a landing party. Unless we find this so-called criminal, we're going to war.
It looks like the jungle has grown up into a small hut. The moon of Digifal. Legend says that the gods of good and evil fortune live there and will glance back at those who look at them, and either a miracle or a catastrophe will soon befall those who gaze upon it. Luminescent insects swarm near a large tree. There is a tall, slender, dark-haired man looking intently at you.
I am picking up strange energy readings from the alien. Perhaps Dr. McCoy could provide better data.
He appears human. All life signs are normal, but I'm getting strange energy readings near the base of the pituitary gland.
I'm just a security officer, sir.
Jim, that man is dressed in ancient Aztec clothing.
I believe you are mistaken, Doctor. His clothing bears a distinct resemblance to fashions of a much later period. The humanoid's adornments appear similar to those worn by leaders of Earth's early 20th century inhabitants of the South American continent.
What do you know about Earth culture? He looks like an ancient Aztec.
Greetings, my children. I can barely imagine that you have come so far.
I am Captain James T. Kirk of the Starship Enterprise. Did you know the Klingons are looking for you? I'm Captain James T. Kirk of the Starship Enterprise. What did you do to get the Klingons so upset? We're not your children, and we don't appreciate this wild goose chase you forced us into. I am Captain James T. Kirk of the Starship Enterprise. Did you know the Klingons are looking for you?
The Klingons? Amazing. This is the first time one of my missions has produced results so swiftly.
Listen, mister. Any missions conducted within Klingon space fully jeopardize the peace. Damn right the results were swift. The Klingons have been raiding colonies looking for you. Listen, mister. Any missions conducted within Klingon space fully jeopardize the peace.
Jeopardize the peace? Hardly. Peace is what I preach. I am Quetzalcoatl, as you well know from the proud history of your world.
Quetzalcoatl? How fitting you would name yourself after one of the most bloody-handed gods in Earth's history.
Bloody-handed? My people love peace.
Your followers regularly sacrificed other believers to you after you left, offering you their still-beating hearts. Ha! You mean your followers loved pieces? They slaughtered other believers hoping you'd return. Your followers regularly sacrificed other believers to you after you left, offering you their still-beating hearts.
Impossible. You must be lying.
And then your followers were destroyed, because when white men arrived on that continent, they were believed to be you in your promised return. Your people perverted your teachings, then were destroyed by it.
Foul, lying creatures! My gift was wasted upon you! Be gone! We are not the inheritors of the noble Aztec world. What you have said has greatly disturbed me. You should not lie so. You shall remain here until you have learned the error of angering Quetzalcoatl.
You are in a deep pit. It is a long, hard climb to the top. There is a light suspended from above by a chain. There is a vine hanging down into the pit. Feral red eyes glare out of the dark at you. This particular snake doesn't seem to like your company and moves whenever you get near it. This moss is covered with a very sticky substance. Spock is carefully examining the pit. Feral red eyes glare out of the dark at you.
This vine is not likely to support our weight by itself, Captain. You would have to find some way to reinforce it. Now Nothing to report, Captain. 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 It would appear that this is where the snake lives, Captain. It looks like a Xanthorian pit snake, a rather common species in this region, noted by galactic herpetologists for their quickness. It is not venomous or dangerous to humans.
No enemies in sight, but supplies could be a problem if we don't get out.
Do I look like Houdini to you? I'm afraid you're going to have to pull the rabbit out of the hat on this one.
Those vines would be useful to escape, if we could reach them.
It's a damn snake. Do you know what snake bite does? It can ruin your whole day.
We are not likely to find a way out of this pit with humor, Doctor. I suggest you concentrate your efforts to the problem at hand.
Do they always argue like this, Captain?
Well, yes.
Does it look sick to you, Captain?
The vine is attached to a tree above you. You fail to obtain anything. You fail to obtain anything. You fail to obtain anything.
Fascinating. Our communicators have apparently been rendered ineffective. Those vines would be useful to escape. It is logical that an entity that professes to teach peace would render our phasers inoperative.
Even the this one.
It is logical that an
You fail to obtain anything. You fail to obtain anything.
All right.
You fail to obtain anything. The vine will not support you.
There is nothing at the moment for me to do there. There is nothing at the moment for me.
Wait. Can we walk out of here? No.
Nothing to report.
I certainly see nothing there calling for a ship.
There is not enough support, Captain. The snake is too quick to be easily grabbed before it retreats, Captain. There is not enough support, Captain. I fail to see the lot.
You are in a deep pit. Feral red eyes glare. There is a tiny hole in the wall at this point. Certainly no human could crawl through here. There are rocks here quite suitable for picking up and throwing. You pick up some rocks from the pile. These rocks are smooth and spherical, perfect for throwing.
I don't want to hit the snake. Did I get it? Cool.
This snake is just waiting for a chance to sink its fangs into someone, especially young Starfleet security officers.
I'm picking up residual energy readings from the area where the alien's projection was.
Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
A fascinating specimen, Captain, but I would be careful handling it. From the looks of it, it may have a nasty bite.
We wouldn't want to bleed all over Dr. McCoy now, would we?
Especially that green Vulcan blood. The last thing I need is a pint of T-negative blood all over my uniform.
T-negative.
Nothing happens.
That's something of a runt, Captain. You should have seen this Rigelian python that Cadet Tyrelli put in the shower at the Academy. 20 meters long.
Nothing happens.
20.
This isn't very logical, but as you are human, it is quite understandable.
Alright, let's think about this.
Those vines would be useful to escape, if we could reach them.
You already have rocks.
Oh.
Nothing happens.
Fascinating. It did appear to knock the vine down near to the point where one of us can reach it.
Didn't they have baseball on Vulcan? Show us your fastball, Jim.
Baseball? No one plays that anymore. Good try, though, sir.
So can I use them now?
The vine will not support you. The vine will not support you. The vine will not support.
I was hoping we could combine them.
Those vines would be useful to escape, if we...
Is this another vine?
There is a vine hanging down into the pit. There is a vine hanging down.
I don't know. Perhaps. Ah!
The probability of getting the vine on the second try was only 36.53%. Well done, Captain.
Probability? That was a perfect pitch if I ever saw one.
All right, we're on our way.
Yeah, you first.
There is a vine hanging down into the pit.
Nothing to report, Captain.
Let me...
Save new game.
Just in case. Oh. Thought we were going up, all the way up.
Feral red eyes. Feral red eyes glare out of the...
What? Why are you going downstairs? Perhaps you use the chain. Can we?
There is nothing at the moment.
Those vines would be...
Alright, can we walk? Ah.
Trees to the left of you, trees to the right of you. Into the valley of trees raced the landing party. Trees to the left of you.
Nothing to report, Captain. Nothing to report, Captain. Nothing to report, Captain. Staying in this overgrown region could prove quite dangerous. I suggest we continue, Captain.
I am Tolokzak, priest of Quetzalcoatl. Only one who knows his ways may approach his holy ground.
Towering over your security officer, holding a great spear in his huge hand, the great warrior Tolokzak will let no one pass him. Primitive lights illuminate this savage scene. Primitive lights illuminate.
Nice planet. I kind of like it.
Did you ever get the feeling that people don't like you?
Mm-hmm. Sometimes.
Perhaps our host will be more reasonable now. I recommend trying to locate him, Captain.
How?
Well, either this Aztec is a real flesh and blood human being, or I'm going to be retired as soon as I get back to the Enterprise.
Nothing to report, Captain. Still inoperative, Captain.
Save new game. Replace previous. You get no response.
I will not listen to your deceitful ways.
Still inoperative, Captain. Perhaps our host will be more reasonable now.
Did you ever get the feeling that people don't like?
Get back. You may not pass until you prove your worthiness.
How?
I will not listen to your deceit.
Battle, you mean?
All right. Time for some action.
Oh.
Let me show you how we did it at the Academy. Captain, do you realize how big this guy is?
That's funny.
Captain, I do not think that I can defeat him in personal combat.
What about your famous nerve pinch?
It is unlikely to work on a man of that size, Doctor.
Damn, he noticed. Isn't that what they said to David before he fought Goliath?
Doctor, may I remind you that David defeated Goliath?
Yeah, I was thinking about the
Send in
rock.
David.
There is nothing at the moment for me to do there.
Alright, I guess so.
Tolokzak falls to the ground unconscious.
He dropped a knife, Jim.
You pick up the beautifully crafted knife. A beautifully crafted stone knife inlaid with Aztec patterns. The Aztec warrior lies on the ground, unconscious.
He's unconscious, Jim. Jimmy will be up in about a half hour. If I wake him now, he's liable to retaliate for your thoughtless actions.
Below this rock is a large growth of mushrooms. Familiar glowing spheres light the path. You are in a dark forest. You can hear the flow of water to the northwest. Save new game. Replace previous game. Delete previous. Cancel. Save new game.
Yeah.
Trauzakian mushrooms. Their spores are highly toxic and are released if they are disturbed.
Nothing happens.
So I guess you cannot take them.
You fail to obtain any. A pair of eyes are all that you can see of the rest of this creature. Most of it is hidden beneath the murky water. The log looks quite old but sturdy. There seems to be a lit cave beyond the log. The river water is too muddy to get an idea of its depth, or what may be beneath its surface. The river water is too muddy to get an.
It is some kind of mollusk. The river seems to be its home, and it is carnivorous, eating land and river-based forms of life. Captain, it would not be wise to cross while the creature is near.
Captain, perhaps I should try to cross first.
Alright, guy, move.
He looks at you with a puzzle.
Captain, it would not be wise to...
Captain, perhaps I should try...
Oh.
Reminds me of a planet I was stationed on once. The native girls were real friendly. Ensign Shu had his bachelor party there. Great time. You ever been to Omicron Draconis, Captain?
No. Have I? Sure, I don't know.
I'll give it a try, Captain.
Wow. Really?
It is a large cluster of crystals. Darkness leading into the unknown. They appear to be ordinary rocks. Spock's tricorder might say otherwise.
Fascinating. These rocks are limestone, but contain an unusually high content of heavy metals. There are dilithium crystals here, but in a very raw form. Fascinating. This appears to be a formation of raw dilithium crystals, Captain.
Can you take them?
You will need something to pry it loose. You have one dilithium crystal in raw form. a dilithium crystal in raw form.
There is a contradiction, Captain. If Quetzalcoatl is really an entity of peace, then Lieutenant Strachey should not have died.
Perhaps we should hold on to that hope, Mr. Spock, that a civilized being will not kill for trivial motives. That creature was quite real, Mr. Spock. We will discuss this with our host when we see him. Unfortunately, human history is full of people who did not practice what they preach. Quetzalcoatl is just one in a long line of them. Perhaps we should hold on to that hope, Mr. Spock, that a civilized being will not kill for trivial motives. That creature was quite real, Mr. Spock. We will discuss this with our... Unfortunately, human history is full of people who did not practice. Perhaps we should hold on to that hope.
Agreed, Captain.
I've lost any appetite I may have had for squid, Jim.
I watched as you worked through the problems I set in your path. You are a valiant, intelligent species. I was particularly impressed by the sacrifice made by Lieutenant Strachey. Of course, I gave him back his life. He is now safely aboard your vessel. I would have been more impressed had you found a less violent solution. My children are dear to me. Even so, few choices remain to me. Please sit down. We have much to discuss.
I've had it up to here with so-called superior beings terrorizing my crew because we're so primitive. Maybe you should see how primitive you are before you go around testing others.
I like that.
One thing first, if you're so peaceful, how come the Aztecs were so violent and aggressive? Yes, I guess we do. Go on. I've had it up to... One thing... Yes, I guess we do. Go on.
First, I have one question. You are clearly not the liars I thought you to be. Were you telling me the truth about my disciples? That they became ruthless savages?
The Federation is not in the business of lying, mister. Absolutely. Your best intentions were changed by the imperfect humans that you left in charge after you departed. Such is the way of our race, I'm afraid. You messed up in a big way. Perhaps you should try following the Prime Directive. It changed our lives. The Federation is not in the business of lying, mister.
Your harshness is unwarranted, but I sense truth in this. Perhaps this is what happened to my children on the Klingon world of Rakur, which would explain why they are searching for me. I have clearly abused the power that was given me long ago.
You show great wisdom, sir, but your statement implies that you wish to change your condition.
Indeed. If my mission of peace was overthrown, then I am no longer worthy of my power. Tell me, has your species made progress in the medical arts?
We're a technologically advanced starfaring race. What do you think? That we wouldn't have made progress in medicine? With Dr. McCoy, I sometimes wonder, but yes, I would say we have made considerable advances. Yes, why do you ask? We're a technological... With Dr. McCoy, I sometimes wonder, but yes, I would say we have made considerable advances.
Then I shall ask to make use of your advances. At the top of my spine is a gland not found in your species. This is the seat of my power. I wish you to remove it, thereby making me immortal.
Jim, I'll try, but the physiology is completely alien.
You've got to do it, Bones. If the Klingons realize he's no longer a threat to them, perhaps we can avoid a war.
Wow, that's a huge
Scotty,
sacrifice.
40 beam up.
Captain, 3 Klingon heavy battle cruisers have just entered the system. Admiral Kenka is hailing us, sir.
Federation starship, this is Admiral Vlik Kenka of the Clearter. You harbor a criminal who has caused the destruction of the entire population of Rakur. We are not prepared to negotiate. You will proceed to Rakur, where a court of Cleon justice will be convened. If you refuse, we shall destroy you.
Admiral Vlik, the criminal of whom you speak is in the middle of a very delicate medical procedure. He cannot be handed over to anyone at this time. I cannot believe Quetzalcoatl's mission to Rakur would cause the deaths of the entire planet. Since when do Klingons give orders to Federation officers, Admiral? I realize it's difficult for a Klingon, but don't be a fool. Admiral Vlicht, the criminal of whom you speak, is in the middle of a very delicate medical procedure. He cannot be handed over to anyone at this time. I cannot believe Quetzalcoatl's mission to Rakur would cause... Since when do Admiral Vlicht, the criminal of...
His attempt to corrupt the Empire with his philosophy led to the destruction of all life on Rakur.
How could a philosophy of peace and non-violence cause the destruction of all life on Rakur?
Rakur has been governed by my family for generations, but even they were corrupted by him. It was a matter of honor that his lies had to be silenced, no matter what the cost.
My God, you killed your own people just because they acquired a philosophy that you disagreed with? So you killed them, your own family. You were responsible for their deaths, not Quetzalcoatl. You murdered them. You're insane. Tell me, how much do your commanders know about what you did? Or do you need to kill Quetzalcoatl to hide your own deeds? My God, you killed your own people just because they acquired a philosophy that you disagreed with? So you killed them, your own family. You were responsible for their deaths, not Quetzalcoatl.
It was that creature's fault. Had he not interfered in our affairs, the people of Rakur would be alive. Clearly, he is responsible.
Message from Starfleet Command.
I'll argue this with you later, Vlicht.
Contact your superiors, Kirk. You may be surprised.
I have bad news, Captain. The Organians have ruled that Quetzalcoatl's interference in Klingon affairs renders him subject to Klingon law. You are to turn your prisoner over to them at Rakur. Klingon law will permit you to observe or aid in his defense. But be very careful, Jim. Starfleet out.
Captain, you cannot turn him over to those butchers. That would be murder.
We have no choice, Scotty. I'm afraid Quetzalcoatl has a date with Klingon justice. Set course for Rakur, Mr. Chekhov.
Very interesting.
Captain's log. We have come to the ruined Klingon planet of Rakur to deliver our guest, the mythical entity Quetzalcoatl, to a Klingon court. Dr. McCoy, Mr. Spock, and Ensign Benny and I have been granted permission by the Organians to witness this trial, which I expect to be a travesty of any meaningful definition of justice. Spock, come with me. Mr. Scott, you have the con.
The prisoner and his witnesses will stand forth, so the trial may begin.
You look but see nothing of note. This is the famous seal of the Klingon Empire. A Klingon guard. A big Klingon guard. A big Klingon guard with his disruptor ready to fire on anyone who gives him trouble. Admiral Vlicht, commander of the Klingon flagship Clerta. Admiral Vlicht, commander of the Klingon flagship Clerta. You look but see nothing of note. This city was destroyed by heavy bombardment and intense doses of neutrino rays that killed all known forms of life on this planet.
I've got nothing to say to you, Jim.
Awaiting your orders, sir.
Captain, I estimate the odds of this court acquitting Quetzalcoatl at 0.086%.
I'm frightened, Captain. But if I am to die, then I shall die well.
He's still weak from the operation. There's nothing there requiring one healthy adult Klingon male.
Nothing to report. Nothing to report.
So, Kirk, we finally meet. I had thought it would be in battle, but the universe holds many surprises.
There's nothing less appealing than a gloating Klingon flick. Let's get this trial underway. Stick around, Vlicht. There are more surprises awaiting you. Why does every Klingon tell me they expected to meet me in battle? You really have a one-track mind. There's nothing less appealing than a gloating Klingon flick. Let's get this trial underway.
So be it! This begins the trial of the entity Quetzalcoatl, who is charged with impersonating a Klingon, stirring dissent, encouraging cowardice, and treason in the highest degree.
Those are serious charges, Vlicht. Should he not be tried by a Klingon High Court?
He has not demonstrated honor, Kirk. Only a proven warrior may be tried in High Court. Principles of honor are not applicable to his defense.
I'm a warrior, Vlicht. I hereby intervene for him and demand the honors and responsibilities of a warrior's trial. And this trial is a mockery for the entire galaxy to see. Oh, well, I'm afraid you're on your own, Quetzalcoatl. I'm a warrior, Vlicht. And this trial is a mockery for the entire galaxy to see. I'm a warrior, Vlicht. I hereby intervene for him and demand the honors and responsibilities of a warrior's trial.
A Federation officer claiming the rights of a Klingon warrior. How dare you insult me, Kirk?
I've faced Klingons both in personal and ship-to-ship combat. Your own records will confirm this. If I'm not worthy of their honors, why didn't they kill me?
That oversight, Kirk, is easily rectified. You and your 3 companions may face the test that we set for the Defender. Then we shall see if you are as worthy as a Klingon.
I want your word of honor, Vlicht, that Quetzalcoatl will not be harmed while we take these tests.
Very well. You have my word. Captain Calarax, transport them to the test of life.
What is this place?
Not much is known about Rakur, Ensign. This would appear to be some sort of a mining installation. That creature might be a native life form.
A test of courage? That is the Klingon way.
I somehow doubt that Vlicht intends for us to survive this, whatever the outcome. We're the only thing that stands between him and the killing of Quetzalcoatl that he can justify.
Why should he worry about justification, Captain? He's a Klingon. Murder is as natural to them as breathing.
That's not true, Ensign. However, I suspect that Vlicht's attack on Rakur exceeded his orders. He needs Quetzalcoatl as a scapegoat, and he needs a fair trial to avoid an inquiry of his own actions.
And our deaths will be the only way he can get it. Great!
You look but see nothing of note. This section of wall was carved by some sort of plasma field. A field of static lightning. It seems to be moving in a purposeful manner. You look but see nothing of note. A slightly antiquated Klingon lock mechanism. The floor is incomplete, made of unrefined natural rock. These wooden rods are support beams that were not placed.
These wooden rods are support beams that were not placed. This wall was carved from the natural rock. An entry coder for the door, keyed to a number sequence. The tricorder is unable to determine the code, but can scan the mechanism. Nothing to report, Captain. This creature is composed of electrical fields. I would not recommend approaching it. A metal projectile might disrupt its fields and render it harmless.
It does not register as a known life form.
You fail to obtain anything. No effect.
Can you take more?
How could you do it, Jim? I spent hours trying to save his life, and you just gave him away in seconds to the Klingons.
You've handled those Klingons well, sir. We've got them on the run now.
Captain, I have calculated the odds of surviving this at...
Shut up, Spock.
I don't have any metal item unless we use one of our tricorders.
It does not register.
Nothing happens. No effect. Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
Captain, I have calculated the...
Shut up, Spock.
Nothing to report. Nothing to report, Captain. These wooden rods are support beams that were not placed. This wall was carved from the natural rock.
You fail to obtain anything.
Captain, there is a force field between us and the planet. We have your position at approximately 30 meters beneath the surface of Rakor, and what appears to be the ruins of an archaeological dig. Keep us informed. We'll help you all we can. We can analyze any data you gather through the main computer.
Uhura, prepare to receive a tricorder message. There is a door with an entry coder here. Try to analyze the circuits and let the main computer crack the code.
Scan complete. Main computer has the code. We also read an anomaly. Something else has tapped into the key code. Shall I analyze?
I want that door open. Affirmative, Uhura. I want that door open. Affirmative, Uhura.
Sir, we have a secondary code that is nested in the Klingon program. Computer is unable to analyze its function. Shall we broadcast it to you when you activate the keypad?
Affirmative. Negative. Transmit the door entry code only. Affirmative.
Good luck, Captain. Nothing else to report, Captain.
Was that a mistake?
Load a previously set.
Captain, there is a force field between us and the planet. We have your position at approximately 30 meters beneath the surface of Rakor, and what appears to be the ruins of an archaeological dig. Keep us informed. We'll help you all we can. We can analyze any data you gather through the main computer.
An entry coder for the door, keyed to a number sequence. The tricorder is unable to determine the code, but can scan the mechanism. Nothing to report, Captain. This creature is composed of electrical fields. I would not recommend approaching it. A metal projectile might disrupt its fields and render it harmless. These wooden rods are support beams that were not placed. This wall was carved from the natural rock. This rock has a high iron content.
Captain, there is a force field between us and the planet. We have your position at approximately 30 meters beneath the surface of Rakor, and what appears to be the ruins of an archaeological dig. Keep us informed. We'll help you all we can. We can analyze any data you gather through the main computer.
Uhura, prepare to receive a tricorder message. There is a door with an entry coder here. Try to analyze the circuits and let the main computer crack the code.
Scan complete. Main computer has the code. We also read an anomaly. Something else has tapped into the key code. Shall I analyze?
I want that door open. Affirmative, Uhura.
Sir, we have a secondary code that is nested in the Klingon program. Computers unable to analyze its function. Shall we broadcast it to you when you activate the keypad?
Affirmative. Negative. Transmit the door entry code only.
Affirmative, sir. We will transmit code when you activate the key code. Uhura out.
There is nothing at the moment for me to do there. There is nothing at the moment for...
No effect. No effect.
What am I missing?
The floor is incomplete, made of unrefined natural rock. The floor is incomplete.
I don't know, I can't think of anything.
You look but see nothing of note.
Captain, I have calculated the odds of surviving this at...
Shut up, Spock.
You've handled those Klingons well, sir. We've got them on the run now.
The nerve.
How could you do it, Jim? I spent hours trying to save his life, and you just gave him away in...
You burn one of the rods. The wall is resistant to phaser fire. You melt some of the rock.
Ah! Hey, Pete. Welcome. I think I might have found the solution
You
for
coat
this.
the rod with molten iron. It hardens quickly.
How are you?
As I suspected, Captain, the creature is in stasis. It should awaken in 3.48 days.
I bet it'll be mad.
Oh, my ears. Finally.
Nothing to report, Captain. Nothing to report, Captain. Nothing to report, Captain. An entry coder for the door, keyed to a number sequence. The tricorder is unable to determine the code, but can scan the mechanism.
Physically or mentally?
Nothing else to report, Captain.
You fail to obtain.
An entry coder for the door, keyed to a number sequence. The tricorder is unable to determine the code, but can scan the mechanism. Nothing to report, Captain. Nothing to report, Captain. I fail to see the logic in that action, Captain.
Nice. Hmm. Well, I'm gonna use the. I'm gonna say the usual things. Do you drink enough water? Well, plenty of water.
Captain, what is that thing?
I don't know, Ensign.
I believe, Ensign, that this energy sphere is some sort of automaton, programmed to block our movements.
Whatever it is, we have to find a way to get by it.
A pulsing globe of energy.
There is no try. There is do or do not.
The ball of energy is an automaton, Captain. It is an artificial construct programmed to block any movements. I can detect no other function or intelligence.
I wonder if we can use another piece of... Yeah, well, in those cases, you might want to take notes, see how much you actually drink. There are times that I think I had enough water, but since I actually... Okay, I'll give you an example. Sometimes I have a bottle here. Oops, let me go to the other room. I have a bottle here that it is 1.5 liters. And I fill it with water sometimes. And I drink from that if I'm too lazy to go to the kitchen. And there are a couple of days that the whole day goes by and I haven't used the whole water, which is shocking to me at least, because I think I drink enough water. My point is, drink some water. Yeah, 0.25 liters is not much.
Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
You know that.
Captain, there is still a barrier between us and the planet. Mr. Scott thinks there might be a way to break through it, and he's working on it now. But the Klingons won't like it.
Keep working on it, but don't try to beam us up unless I give the signal.
Understood, Captain. By the way, sensors indicate...
Some kind of energy source a few meters from our position. We know.
Please keep in contact with us. We'll keep you informed if further developments occur. Uhura out.
It. I don't want excuses. I don't care if you just woke up. You should have at least a couple of liters of water by now. Okay, poor joke, I know. Alright, how are we going to go through this, or around it?
You look but see nothing of note. You look but see nothing of note. Leads back to the room where the electrical creature was.
I was in a previous mission where I had to cross some water, and there was a creature inside the water. I knew there was a creature there, and I made the red shirt walk so that the creature grab him, kill him, and then we can walk without any problem. And I felt so bad about it, but thankfully got him back alive somehow. It was hilarious, but yeah, that is a good idea. I'll try it.
He looks at you with a puzzled expression. He looks at you with a puzzled expression.
Okay, he does want to do it.
He looks at you with a puzzled
I'll try to walk myself. Cannot go through it.
It does not register as a life form.
No, I don't. Do I? No. Oh, I have the wooden rod. I tried to use it, but it wouldn't let me. Can try again.
Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
Nothing else to report, Captain.
The thing that worries me is that
You look but see nothing. The floor is incomplete, made of unrefined natural rock.
the thing that worries me is that I had an option earlier to talk while I was communicating with the Enterprise with Uhura, and she told me if she should use some extra code she found or something. And I said no, just open the door when I go near it. And I'm worried that perhaps that was a mistake in that it made the thing impossible to continue now. Because if that actually disabled this one,
Captain, there is still a barrier between us and the planet. Mr. Scott thinks there might be a way to break through it, and he's working on it now. But the Klingons won't like it.
Keep working on it, but don't try to beam us up unless I give the signal.
Understood, Captain. By the way, sensors indicate...
Some kind of energy source a few meters from our position. We know.
Please keep in contact with us. We'll keep you informed if further developments occur. Uhura out.
The ball of energy is an automaton, Captain. It is an artificial construct programmed to block any movements. I can detect no other function or intelligence.
alright, I'm gonna reload. It's not going to take long, since obviously I know what to do now.
You melt some of the rock. You coat the rod with molten iron. It hardens quickly. Nothing happens.
As I suspected, Captain, the creature is in stasis. It should awaken in 3.48 days.
I bet it'll be mad.
Wait. When exactly did I save?
An entry coder for the door, keyed to a number sequence. The tricorder is unable to determine the code, but can scan the mechanism.
Captain, there is a force field between us and the planet. We have your position at approximately 30 meters beneath the surface of Rakor, and what appears to be the ruins of an archaeological dig. Keep us informed. We'll help you all we can. We can analyze any data you gather through the main computer.
Uhura, prepare to receive a tricorder message. There is a door with an entry coder here. Try to analyze the circuits and let the main computer crack the code.
Scan complete. Main computer has the code. We also read an anomaly. Something else has tapped into the key code. Shall I analyze?
I want that door open. Affirmative, Uhura. I want that door open. Affirmative, Uhura.
Sir, we have a secondary code that is nested in the Klingon program. Computer is unable to analyze its function. Shall we broadcast it to you when you activate the keypad?
Affirmative. Negative. Transmit the door entry code only. Affirmative.
Good luck, Captain.
What?
What is this place?
This is not Klingon technology, Captain.
Even I can see that, you pointy-eared freak.
Gentlemen, I suggest we start trying to find out what this is. I have a feeling we've come someplace Vlick wasn't expecting us to go.
What?
Save new game. Replace previous game. Delete previous game. Save new game. You look but see nothing of note. A strange yellow light. This large gem appears to be a sapphire of unusual size. This is obviously artificial. This large gem appears to be an emerald of unusual size. This is obviously artificial. This large gem appears to be a ruby of unusual size. This is obviously artificial. Openings on the platform. Place something in these holes. Openings on the platform. Place something in these holes. Openings on the platform. Place something in these holes.
That's okay, Pete. I'm sure we'll find something.
Captain, it seems to be some sort of interface device, but I do not know how to activate it. Nothing to report, Captain. Nothing to report, Captain. Nothing to report, Captain.
Try to use this combination.
That combination is restricted to higher order functions. Neural interlink required.
I suspect, Captain, that the machinery is activated by placing the gems in the proper slots. We should determine a system for this. Nothing to report, Captain. Captain, it seems to be some sort of interface.
Breach of protocol. Alien invasion imminent. Internal security activated.
Is that good or bad?
Not prime for neural interlink. force field blocks trans-system transport. Transport aborted. Use defense systems to eliminate alien vessels. To use any light, the first crystal must correspond to the color of the light.
What?
Not prime for neural interlink.
I certainly see nothing there calling for it.
And I just lost a follower. I wonder why. He said something about a light. Must be the same color or something. I was thinking that obviously we do not have a yellow light, and there doesn't appear to be a way to combine them. Yeah, that's my other thought, that perhaps it's the green light. Wait, is this a bar? Is this supposed to fill? Must be, right? Alright, let's try. Let's try 3 blue lights, just to piss it off. It's gonna change to blue.
We can transport you only in proximity of nearest humanoid life.
What?
Transport imminent.
Okay.
How dare you! The test was supposed to take place without interference from your ship. You have shown all lack of honor.
Honor? Give me a break, Flick. You were trying to kill us. I believe that the use of guile to do what the enemy does not expect is considered very honorable by the Klingons. You didn't say I wasn't allowed to use my ship's computer. You didn't explain the rules clearly. Whose fault is that? Honor. I believe that the use of guile to do what the enemy does not expect is considered very honorable by the Klingons.
How dare you lecture me on points of honor? I, the most decorated warrior in the entire Empire. I, who took the dishonored trash of my homeworld and destroyed it with a fist of steel.
Then you admit it was you and not Quetzalcoatl who was responsible for the death of Frakor.
Those who lose honor lose life, Kirk. 'Tis the Klingon way.
Then you will not object to presenting the orders from the Klingon Council, authorizing mass murder on Frakor.
The trial is over. He is guilty. Done. Carry out the sentence.
I won't let you.
No, Captain. Let there be an end to this violence. I will not allow any more blood to be shed, save my own. I taught the doctrine of self-sacrifice, and I shall die of it. But before I die, I believe that Klingon law allows me to make a public statement. Intelligent beings are not meant to be caged either by tyranny or barbarism. Those who try doom themselves to failure. Once a culture has tasted peace, It will not desire anything else, because peace is better than war. Love is better than hate, and creation is better than destruction. This is truth. I, who was once immortal, know that truth is the only true immortal. You can kill people, cultures, even gods, but the truth will always survive.
The death ceremony shall take place aboard the Cleata. I trust you are satisfied that justice has been done.
Did you listen to anything he said? One day, in spite of people like you, the Klingons will know peace. I hope I live to see that day.
You won't.
I don't know if you're a praying man, Vlicht. If I were you, I would not want to meet me again. Justice? Did you listen to anything he said? I don't... Justice? Scotty, beam us up.
I don't feel well about this.
Captain's log. We've returned to Federation space, having tried and failed to save a new friend.
Quetzalcoatl was a remarkable creature, Captain. It is a great loss.
He died for what he believed in.
Yet so did many men who were judged by history to be evil. Dictators, assassins. Self-sacrifice in itself is not a virtue.
Still, I cannot find it in my heart to condemn him. He had a great dream of peace, and it's been left to others to fulfill it. Let's get started. Ahead warp factor 2 to Alpha Proxima, Mr. Sulu.
We have read your report on the problems at Rakur and evaluate your performance at 54%. You and your crew received 1 commendation points. A satisfactory performance, Captain, but there's still room for improvement.